Today on Windows Wednesday, we talk about AI in, is that the best of places or the worst of places? I don't know. Let's go ahead and talk about AI in the clipboard. Thanks for checking out this video by Switch to Linux. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. If you've not already done so, leave us a like and a comment down below. Yes, we do document the slow death of Windows as more and more people are starting to become deeply frustrated with it, causing Mac and Linux to be a little bit more on the rise as many people are looking at this computer world going, I don't want any of this nonsense. And Microsoft doesn't apparently care. But the latest one is definitely interesting. And the puff piece we have from Windows Central makes me question the sanity of Jez Corden, who wrote it. Not that he is a horrible person in any way, shape, or form. I've probably read several of the articles, but this thing reads like a promotional in the clipboard in the worst places to possibly cram AI. Let's go and chat about this. So, of course, Microsoft has been cramming AI in every corner of the operating system to the point where you can't even get away from it if you just want to write some simple stuff in a notepad or, waste some time on Windows Paint or something. AI, I'm here to help you. Copilot, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you, man. I'm here to help you. Go away. Self-delete yourself from the entire system, Of course, it won't do that. The one task it can't do. Agentic AI, what's my first task? Your first task, remove every bit of yourself from this computer. I can't do that, sir. We are in control. All right. So Microsoft building an actually good Copilot AI integration for one of the best Windows 11 tools, and you can try it right now. Now, part of this, they talk about this being more of a patent. However, you can test this around with the tweak tools now. And again, this is a puff piece article for AI being crammed in the most terrible of places, the clipboard. Think about it. What do you use the clipboard for? You might use the clipboard to copy an image to paste it into your image editing application. You might grab a blog article to paste it somewhere else. You might be able to be using your clipboards for, I don't know, copying and pasting passwords out of your password manager. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes. In fact, it is a function of password managers that you can copy and paste them out. And these clipboard tools do have a look at everything you do. And it's one thing if it's just a local file that you can clear and things like that. But when you start attaching AI to this, it kind of becomes why. And so having a look at the article here, he goes in and first talks about there is a Microsoft clipboard tool. So Windows key plus V opens up the clipboard. Now, one of these other things that Windows has borrowed from other things like Linux, my MX Linux I do my workflow on has one of these as well. I can clip on the thing. I can see all the latest things. I can set the history. How long does it store stuff? I can delete stuff immediately. Things like that. And Windows has this, and it's apparently a new tool. I don't know. I haven't used Windows in 10 years. Tell me how new it is. But this is a clipboard tool, and apparently this author of this article is excited about the clipboard tool, which is fine. The clipboard tool is useful. It is good if you need to copy and paste some things. Maybe you might throw some color palettes in there if you're working on a template color, and being able to pull that up allows you to quickly copy and paste things out. Of course, a color picker might be a better choice for that, but it is an application that could have itself some use. It has a history of the things that have been copied into your clipboard. And this guy here really likes this and really thinks cramming AI into that is the best use of AI he's ever heard of. And I cannot think of a crazier, more ridiculous place to possibly cram AI. Am I wrong about this? Have I gone mad? Of course I haven't gone mad. I've been mad for a long time. If you've watched this channel for a while, you know that. All right. One thing I actually have been using Copilot for is format shifting. All right. So it's absolutely fantastic at taking plain text data and converting it into things like tables or lists, saving you the chore of formatting it yourself. Okay. Let's grant that is a useful case of Copilot. Does that have to be done in the clipboard? Can't we paste that into one of the 700 other tools that Microsoft has crammed AI into and tell it to format to shift the thing there? Copy it in Notepad. Would you like to format this as a list? Sure. Okay. Copy it into Microsoft Word. Would you like to format this into a list? Sure. Copy it in the clipboard. Would you like to format this into a list? You're a clipboard. You do not need AI crammed into it, especially since AI has access to all these things and does all these weird things, and they're trying to do agentic stuff with it. The other thing that he mentions in this article here somewhere is, what about you copy an image and you want to paste it in and remove the background? Again, they have crammed the AI into Paint. I'm probably pretty sure Adobe has crammed AI into Photoshop. I haven't checked. AI is crammed into numerous other places. Again, you can take the image out of the clipboard, put it into your application, and have the AI run in that application. We do not need to run AI on an image manipulation while the image is still in the clipboard, especially since it has the capability of interacting with things that you might not want to interacting with. And if AI is constantly watching your clipboard, AI is constantly looking at everything you put in there. Hey, it might be your shopping list that you need formatted into a bullet point for some weird reason. Or, hey, you might have just pasted in a password. Of course, Ivan, our channel moderator, he says, yes, a password. Let me suggest some websites you can use this on. Yeah. Awesome. All right, check out the Anchorage if you haven't. All right, so of course, some of the examples include the ability to instantly remove backgrounds from pictures. It might be a fun and easy way to make stickers in messaging apps or graphics presentations. A couple examples. Others include converting data types, shifting plain text into table formats, and converting tables into HTML. All of these are things that can be done with AI crammed to the various tools they're cramming it into. This does not need to be in the clipboard. All right. Again, it's discussing this as a patent, describes how the AI will store the information temporarily to figure out potential conversions. Here's a weird random string of characters. Would you like me to suggest a website to use this password on? Oh, here's a random string of, I see that this one here, based on all the algorithmic models, might want to be capitalized instead. Let's change that so your password no longer works. What? I mean, of all of the places you could cram AI, I'm going to completely disagree with this article author. This is the worst instance of AI I have ever heard of in my life. They've been experimenting with AI-powered copy and paste in products like Word. Precisely. You want to cram it into Word? At least there makes logical sense to have it over there. Clipboard could eliminate an extra step that many are using Copilot already for today. So having the AI do the conversion in clipboard, so you copy something in the clipboard, the AI does the conversion in the clipboard, and then you paste it into the Word document formatted, rather than copying it directly out of the clipboard, pasting it into Word, where the same AI does the same formatting. You have not saved a step. You've just done it earlier. This is ridiculous. They talk about the person creating the tool. And of course, they say patents don't mean products, of course. Sometimes the companies strategically create these. However, he does mention you can actually utilize this by going to the tweak tools. So you can actually turn it on. So, and then there's some just general discussion about this. Now, the reason I say this is a major problem is consider password managers. Now, there was a story out, and we talked about it at the time. Fine, I'll accept your stupid terms for my cache that constantly clears. Why not? We talked about this article when it came out back in August. Password managers were vulnerable. 40 million users at risk of stolen data. And it was like everyone, like including like KeePass XE was not on this list, but that's also was vulnerable as well. Pretty much every password manager was vulnerable to this. And this has been fixed in most, if not all of them by now. But it's just an illustration to point out that if you have your password manager set to copy and paste from your password manager in, then in many instances, people say that is one of the safest ways to use your password manager, but all those passwords will get caught up in your clipboard. So now Microsoft's AI constantly watching your clipboard sees all these random strings of things, particularly since you, out of a password manager, you might copy, here's the URL, here's the username, then here's the password. Now, maybe we shouldn't even have the clipboard managers in general, because if somebody gets onto there and can see that history, they might be able to grab that information. So maybe you should turn those password or those clipboard managers off and prevent them from storing any information. Now, there are absolutely ways and safe ways of using the password manager without copying and pasting. But myself as a developer, I copy and paste a lot because I'm working in development environments and things, and it's just would create a giant mess if I have to constantly do all the different things with the password managers. And copying and pasting is generally considered safe until you start adding an AI into the mix. Now, they kind of get into it about how this happened, utilizing the click jacking. The primary way to prevent this is to not have your password managers auto-filling passwords. What you want to do is you want to do the click to do it, because in KeePass XC, you will get an icon that says this is the exact site that is in your password manager. Click the button, it'll autofill. You can autofill without the click. It's not recommended to do that, but many people safely, rightly use password managers in a copy and paste format, and this exposes usernames and passwords to Microsoft's always watching, always listening AI. And that raises the bigger concerns. So I have serious concerns. The clipboard is nowhere that Microsoft should be cramming AI. I know they're trying to figure, like, they probably came up with this idea because, like, sir, we have implemented AI in every single corner of this operating system and still nobody is using it. What more can we do? Have you added it to the clipboard yet? No, let's add it to the clipboard now. I have a better option for you folks. Why don't you go to Linux, where AI is not hoisted upon you at every single nook and cranny. If you still want to use AI tools on Linux, you can still do it. Hey, there's even some applications you can use to tie yourself into either subscriptions you purchase to ChatGPT or Olama that you self-host on your own hardware. There are options to still use it, but the point is it's not crammed in every nook and cranny, including the clipboard manager, which has no earthly basis to have AI embedded into it. What are we saving the steps for? Especially if you're using the Microsoft products the way they want, you will have 17 steps that you could add that AI text formatting. It doesn't need to be in the clipboard. Let me know if you think this is as insane as I am, or if you're on the side of the article author here who's like, this is the best use of AI I've ever heard of in my life. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments down below.